Have you ever looked in the mirror and wondered, why do my joints feel weaker, or my backache more than it used to? You're doing all the right things, taking your vitamins, eating your vegetables, staying away from junk food. Maybe you're even following a diet your doctor once called healthy. But what if I told you that some of the very foods you believe are helping you stay strong and youthful are actually chipping away at your bones, bit by bit, day by day? This isn't just another nutrition video. This is a silent health alert aimed directly at people over 60 who are unknowingly making the most dangerous mistake of their life, trusting old beliefs about what's good for you. The truth is, bone loss doesn't announce itself. It doesn't come with a warning sign or a sharp pain in the beginning. It creeps in slowly. You don't see it happening until it's too late, until a minor fall leads to a major fracture, or until your spine compresses ever so slightly and you lose an inch or two of height. And worst of all, most people never connect it to their diet. Bone density naturally declines with age. That's a given. But the foods you eat can either speed it up or help protect it. And surprisingly, many of the so-called healthy foods that have been promoted for decades might be accelerating the process. These are foods we're told are good for our heart, our weight, even our digestion. Yet few people talk about what they do to your skeletal system. Let's set the record straight today. In this video, we're diving deep into 5 popular healthy foods that are quietly weakening your bones, especially dangerous for anyone over the age of 60. You might have one of these in your kitchen right now. You might be having it every single morning with the best of intentions. But it's time to open your eyes to the hidden damage. This isn't just opinion. This is backed by science, bone health research, and real data. I'm going to explain exactly how each food affects your bones, why it's more dangerous as you age, and what alternatives you should consider instead. But before we get to the list, let's take a closer look at why bone health changes so drastically after age 60, and why your body becomes more sensitive to what you eat. The bone density decline after 60. Why it matters. When you reach your 60s, a few major changes happen in the body that put your bones at risk, even if you're generally healthy. First, your bones stop rebuilding themselves as quickly. In younger years, your body constantly removes old bone and replaces it with new bone tissue. But after 60, this process slows down. The breaking down continues, but the rebuilding can't keep up. This imbalance leads to porous, fragile bones. Second, your absorption of calcium and vitamin D decreases. Even if you're eating foods high in calcium or taking supplements, your body might not be absorbing enough of it anymore. This is why so many older adults still experience bone thinning even when they seem to be doing the right things. Third, hormonal shifts, especially in women, accelerate bone loss. Postmenopausal women lose protective estrogen, which plays a major role in keeping bones dense and strong. Men also face reduced testosterone levels, which affect bone and muscle mass over time. Fourth, kidney function and acidity levels change. This is where food becomes more dangerous than you might expect. As you age, your kidneys become less efficient at removing acid from the blood. This causes your body to use calcium, sometimes pulled from your bones, to neutralize this acid. If your diet is loaded with acid-forming foods, even if they're labeled healthy, your bones pay the price. And here's the scary part. These changes are happening even before you feel them. You might still be walking fine, feeling energetic, going about your day as usual. But deep inside, your bones may already be getting thinner, weaker, and more prone to breaks or fractures. This is why identifying harmful foods is so important. It's not about giving up everything you enjoy. It's about understanding what these foods are doing to your aging body when you're not paying attention. And it's especially about ditching the false belief that just because something is low-fat, or natural, or plant-based, that it's automatically safe for your bones. Now let's get into the list. This first one is going to surprise you, because you've been told your entire life that it's a healthy breakfast option. Let's talk about breakfast cereals, the kind you find in every grocery store aisle, marketed with heart-healthy labels, bright fruit pictures, and bold promises of whole grains. Whether it's bran flakes, multigrain squares, or even those popular oat-based options, these cereals are often positioned as the perfect breakfast for older adults. Easy to prepare, low in fat, high in fiber. What could possibly be wrong? Here's the problem. Most breakfast cereals are fortified, not naturally nutrient-rich. That means their vitamins and minerals are added back in after the manufacturing process strips them out. And these synthetic vitamins, especially calcium and vitamin D, are not absorbed as efficiently by the body, particularly in people over 60 whose digestion has slowed down. But that's just the beginning. The real danger lies in two key factors: added sugar and phosphates. Many cereals, even the ones labeled healthy, contain high levels of added sugar, often hidden under names like glucose, fructose, barley malt, or cane juice. Sugar increases the acid load in your body. And when your blood becomes more acidic, your system pulls calcium from your bones to restore balance. This slowly weakens bone density over time. Next, we need to talk about phosphates, which are often added to cereals in the form of preservatives or flavor enhancers. Phosphates interfere with calcium balance. If your diet contains more phosphorus than calcium, a common issue with processed cereal, the result is calcium leaching from your bones to even things out in your bloodstream. The ratio is everything, and cereals quietly tilt that balance the wrong way. To make matters worse, many older adults eat these cereals with skim milk or plant-based milks that are also low in fat and poorly fortified. Without dietary fat, your body can't absorb fat-soluble vitamins like vitamin D, which is crucial for calcium absorption. That healthy breakfast just turned into a meal that strips away calcium while providing almost nothing useful in return. Now consider this: a large number of adults over 60 have slightly lower stomach acid. This condition, called hypochlorhydria, reduces your ability to break down and absorb nutrients like magnesium, calcium, and vitamin D. So even if you think your cereal is giving you what you need, your body may be passing it through without much benefit, while the sugars and phosphates are doing real damage. So what's the alternative? Try replacing processed cereals with whole, minimally processed foods like oatmeal made from steel-cut oats, not instant, chia pudding with almond butter, or even eggs and sautéed greens. These meals support stable blood sugar, provide natural vitamins, and don't overload your system with synthetic additives. If you're over 60 and trying to eat healthy, there's a good chance you've been reaching for low-fat yogurt. It's marketed as the perfect food, high in protein, packed with calcium, low in fat, and sometimes even fortified with probiotics. What's not to love? Well, quite a lot, especially when it comes to your bones. The idea that low fat is always better is one of the most damaging myths in modern nutrition. After the 1980s, fat was demonized in American diets. Food companies responded by stripping fat out of dairy products and replacing it with sugar, thickeners, and artificial flavors. That low-fat fruit yogurt, it often contains more sugar than a candy bar. And as we discussed in the last segment, sugar quietly increases the acidity of your blood, forcing your body to draw calcium from your bones to balance it out. But the issue goes even deeper. Fat is essential for absorbing fat-soluble vitamins like D, K2, and A, which play a massive role in calcium absorption and bone strength. When you eat low-fat yogurt, your body doesn't get the support it needs to use calcium properly, even if the yogurt is fortified with it. That means the calcium often passes right through you unused, while your bones continue to weaken. Also, many low-fat yogurts, especially the ones that taste like desserts, are filled with artificial sweeteners and flavoring agents. These additives don't nourish your body. In fact, they can mess with gut health, which plays a surprising role in bone health. Recent studies show that your gut bacteria help regulate bone remodeling. When your gut health is thrown off by chemicals and additives, your ability to absorb minerals and maintain strong bones declines. Now, let's not confuse low-fat yogurt with plain, full-fat Greek yogurt or unsweetened kefir. These can be great choices in moderation. Full-fat versions offer beneficial fats that help with nutrient absorption and tend to be more filling, reducing cravings for sugary snacks later in the day. If you've been eating low-fat yogurt regularly thinking it's a bone-strengthening food, it's time to reconsider. A better breakfast or snack would be plain Greek yogurt, full-fat, topped with chia seeds, ground flax, or a few berries, not spoonfuls of syrupy fruit puree. Or, if you're sensitive to dairy, try unsweetened coconut yogurt with a drizzle of almond butter. These options nourish your body and your bones. Let's now talk about the third sneaky culprit on our list. It's hiding behind a health halo and is often included in plant-based diets. But for aging bones, it can be a quiet saboteur. You've been told to eat your greens. And yes, leafy greens are packed with nutrients. But not all greens are created equal when it comes to bone health, especially for people over 60. Let's talk about spinach, a go-to ingredient for salads, smoothies, omelets, and veggie bowls. Spinach is often praised for being high in calcium. But here's the hidden problem. The calcium in spinach is mostly useless to your body.
Why?
Because spinach is also extremely high in oxalates, natural compounds found in certain plant foods. Oxalates bind to calcium in your digestive tract and form a compound called calcium oxalate, which your body cannot absorb. That means even though spinach looks good on paper, the calcium in it doesn't make it into your bones. Worse still, high oxalate levels can actually interfere with your body's ability to absorb calcium from other sources you eat in the same meal. So if you have spinach with cheese or almonds or even a calcium supplement, the oxalates from spinach can block absorption across the board. Now, spinach isn't the only culprit. Other high oxalate foods include beet greens, Swiss chard, rhubarb, and even almonds and sweet potatoes. This doesn't mean you need to completely cut them out, but eating them in large quantities, especially daily, can quietly affect your bone health over time. The real concern for people over 60 is that many adopt a clean eating plan that relies heavily on green smoothies, raw salads, or plant-based meals with these ingredients. Drinking a green smoothie every day loaded with spinach, almond milk, and chia seeds might feel like you're doing your body a favor, but in terms of bone health, you might be overloading it with oxalates and underloading it with absorbable calcium. So what's the solution? First, rotate your greens. Instead of always reaching for spinach, try kale, arugula, mustard greens, turnip greens, or bok choy, all of which are low in oxalates and high in absorbable calcium. These greens actually support bone health instead of interfering with it. Second, cook your greens. Lightly steaming spinach or Swiss chard reduces their oxalate content significantly. Don't rely on raw vegetables all the time. Cooked veggies can be easier to digest and better for nutrient absorption, especially for aging digestion. Lastly, be cautious with how often you consume smoothies with spinach or almond milk. Try using a variety of ingredients like cucumber, celery, or even low-oxalate herbs like parsley instead. Now let's move to the fourth food. This one hides behind one of the most popular modern health trends and seems harmless, even healing, but it could be undermining your bone strength every single day. Soy products, tofu, soy milk, and soy protein isolate. Soy is everywhere today, from plant-based burgers and protein shakes to soy milk and tofu stir-fries. For many people over 60 looking to eat cleaner or avoid dairy, soy becomes a big part of the diet. But this shift might be doing more harm than good for your bones. The issue with soy isn't the soy itself, but how it's processed and how often it's consumed. Most soy-based products in the U.S. are made from highly processed soy protein isolate, not whole soybeans. These isolates are stripped of fiber and many nutrients during manufacturing and often used in protein powders, bars, and imitation meats. Here's where the bone danger comes in. Soy contains compounds called phytoestrogens, plant-based estrogens that can disrupt your body's hormone balance, especially in older adults. While moderate soy intake may have some protective effects for postmenopausal women, excessive or daily intake of processed soy products can interfere with bone metabolism and calcium balance in the body. Additionally, many soy foods are also high in phytic acid, a naturally occurring compound that can bind to calcium, magnesium, and zinc, making them harder for your body to absorb. And as we've discussed, if you're not absorbing these critical bone-building minerals, your bones weaken over time. So, if soy milk is your go-to every morning, and you're snacking on soy protein bars and eating tofu bowls daily, it's time to scale back. Focus on fermented soy products like tempeh and miso, which have lower levels of anti-nutrients and are easier to digest. And when it comes to milk alternatives, try unsweetened almond, coconut, or oat milk that's calcium fortified and free of synthetic additives. But even then, read labels carefully and don't make it a dominant part of your daily diet. Now we move to the final food on our list, one you'd never expect to cause harm, especially with its glowing reputation in health magazines. Food 5. Granola and health bars. Granola may just be one of the most misleading health foods out there, especially for seniors. With its image of oats, nuts, seeds, and honey, granola seems wholesome. But when it comes to bone health, it can be a trap. Most store-bought granola and health bars are loaded with hidden sugars, vegetable oils, and preservatives. They often contain dried fruits coated in syrup, puffed grains that spike blood sugar, and binders made from glucose or corn syrup. Each of these ingredients raises acidity in your bloodstream. And once again, your body responds by pulling calcium from your bones to neutralize this acid. If you're eating granola as a regular breakfast, snack, or post-workout healthy treat, you could be unknowingly weakening your skeletal system. Some granola products also contain soy protein isolate, whey isolates, or synthetic fiber, all of which complicate digestion in aging adults and may further interfere with the absorption of critical bone-supporting nutrients like magnesium and vitamin K2. Even worse, many older adults eat granola bars while on the go, skipping balanced meals. Without fat, fiber, and real protein to support the absorption of key nutrients, bone health suffers over time. If you love granola, try making your own at home using whole rolled oats, a handful of raw nuts and seeds, a touch of raw honey, and coconut oil. Keep it in moderation and pair it with Greek yogurt or a smoothie that includes a source of healthy fat.